Zimu kwambiri, dzina langa ndine Wanda Msisia kuchokera ku Times. Koyamba, congratulations on your win. Congratulations on your win. Yeah, Wanda Msisia from Times. Wanda Msisia from Times Television. Timati choyamba tikuthokozeni chifukwa chopambana masankho wanga president wa number 7. Okay. Mafunso anga ansanga alipo 4 koma ndansanga. Mwakambapo mbali imodzi ya zimene zikuchitika munakakonda kuti masiku 7 amene tinasintha lamulo kuti constitution section 81(3) pamene tinanena kuti tizidikira masiku 7 kuti president wina alowe, munakakonda kuti tizipanga bwanji andi mukamakamba nkhani imeneyi amene ali mbomawo Malawi ena tonsefe komanso amene akuyembekezera kulowa mboma timu yanu munakakonda, how would you want us to behave during this period, Your Excellency?
Very good question. I think in 7 days entire full concentrate entire kuri antu amenya aloipa angati kuita zoipa kwa antu abwino angati kuita zabwino ndipempe antu onse pamai siku 7 kuti onse tikhale calm komanso tisanonge dziko lino ndila tonse DBB awina kwa siku ndiye kuti dziko lino ndila DBB komanso mealuzanso dziko ndilawo. But so grow series 2030 will come back, or 2035, or 2040. Things come and go. Mabomo oceana abwera kupita. Ndi saunanga ziko ni chwa kapena taruza. Ziko ndila tonse. Sila APMI. Ndi kupemba tonse kuti tikhale bata. Saunanga zinto mungaza maganyo ndani nazo. Ndalama kusonthidwa. Zoshina zikutika ma contract fake contract upekedwa ndalama zimezo zisiye zimezo tukuona gaziko atu tukupitiza kuona gaziko atu ndiye tisiye zimezo for once tikonde ziko no for once kuitonse ndife Malawi. As I said, in fact, let me say again, kundikupempa antu onse kwa amene analuza and this party we are all Malawians going to the most. I want everyone to work together. Don't say, Komanso Marigino onse, Kakumpoto, Umwera, Kuguma, Central Region Bakati, don't say the grand chilo Kumanga Malawi. That's what I want. Malawi is one. Malawi is beyond Kuntudu Kapena, they are the most that don't say. And the first time I love Novambiri. Tikani bata komanso tikile boma sopano likabwera kuti lame granchito kwa likaba granchito tonse support boma limela sopano
ndena ndifusa msanga funso lina ndilo kuti pali zinthu zambiri zimene mwina zaonongeka nde mukalumbira Malawi kwembekeza kuti mwina pompo zinthu zikonzeka mungafune kwa usazotana azakupasira nthawi yochuluka bwanji kuti mutakhala kuti mufuna mukonze zinthu zimene zaonongeka. Lomaliza ndilo kuti munanena kuti mukazasankhidwa muzapanga executive order kuti zinthu zimene zidapita makampani amene adapita ku Lilongwe abwerere ku Blantyre. Mukalumbiritsidwa ngati president tizadikire nthawi yayitali bwanji executive order yanu yoyambirira imene munatilonjeza. Thank you very much.
The last manifesto, indeed, I think kutenga zina kumblante kupita kulilongwe inaye mistake. Inaye planya kuti aononge zina onwa blante. Last night I was visiting my businessman. I thought there's no money here in Malawi, my hotel and so on. Everything has gone away. Has been taken away. Every country, in commercial capital. United States, for example, in Washington, political capital, and in New York, commercial capital. And Mike Ocean, it's not true Kutis and so on says the Kaipa modes. It's not necessary. It's not necessary. For South Africa, for example, South Africa, for example, Boma, executive in Pretoria, judiciary in Bloemfontein. Parliament in Cape Town. Yeah, could you go on and Tiwa infrastructure concrete, my housing and so forth. Tiwa no gazon says we put so much money to build all these buildings, structures. Papa Zonka Tango, I was drunk the other day in my housing corporation. I think I do something. It'll be done in the interest of the country. It's not for vindication or anything at all. It's for the benefit of the country. In terms of the time frame, we'll see. In terms of resources, the Maringantari, we can move so many people. In terms of resources, we wanna how much we can do, move, but it will be done. I've forgotten the second question.
Are you a miracle worker that you are so in office tomorrow and then everything?
Yeah, you know, development, the process is in mind forever. So much at once, teach us to mind like Makua, that one can on and so. So it's assembly development. Tiambo Ponza Zindu, Pamono Concept, Forex, Kuyankha Mezo, Fund the main problem, the drama, Forex, Tiambo Panga Mezo, the Kamazazmezo, the Kaplan, Hanyao, Yangongoe, so to pay and down and bills also to MRA. Those who be Mongolia. They say, we have no money left for development in this country. Those who be Mongolia. That's an immediate issue. In fact, we already started talking. To want to conserve and so on and so forth. So, Pakama step or Shana, government can have infrastructure, how to improve education, education and so forth. Singapore wasn't high more. But the kind of priority, because of your community, kind of your community, kind of Kimanga, kind of fertilizer, immediately, whatever. Let's look at that first and deal with the immediate problems, short-term problems. And then after that, you know, medium-term, and then long-term, including my famous Singapore. That will be long term. So it's nothing on her. But what do that? I think it's a very good question.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. Now this is Kasim Aubi of Zodiac. Kasim Aubi of Zodiac, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, Your Excellency. Mungamela nenelamo inendidi Kasim Aubi kutoka ku Zodiac. Mafunso yena amene mafuna lufusa owanda wachita kutachi. Komano fuso limene ndimafuna mwina mutati yankhira mwa clear kuti the first 100 days ya office mwanu mwaika matarget otani.
I don't like this 100 days stuff. I've always said that. From 2014, I refused to be boxing into 100 days or 2019. I think it's silly. To have this 100 days, whatever it is. And that's not how things work. That's not how things work. This is a process. It has Tamanga, it has my Chedwa, having a money project, funding Chedwa, and so forth. Or the order equipment, go Chedwa, so you cannot put yourself with 5 days from the 20 days. No. What I'm saying is, take the identify short term, medium term, and long term. The immediate things we need to do immediately are things like Jakuja, Mafuta, fertilizer. Those we need to those we need to do immediately. You see, but I can't give a date. And then last. As we go along, kind of Michelle, kind of Singapore, and so forth, those will do them as we go along. But it takes time. Let me finish. I'm the president, you know. don't forget. Don't forget that. So Chilima is as and then after that we'll see what we do. Yeah.
Thank you so
Go
much.
ahead.
Okay, yeah, funso lina ndimafuna ndifunse kuti panopa mukubwera pa nthawi imene sukulu zangotsekulidwa chimodzi chimene sukulu zangotsekulidwa munanena kuti DPP ikalowa mboma maphunziro a secondary azakhala aulere amalawi ali ndi chidwi kwina adziwe kuti kodi zichitika with immediate effect or pali zinthu zina zimene mukhale kuti mfuna muziwunike kaye.
Well, that's the plan for the school there and so forth. Secondary school. We have not yet formed the government. To form government. The government is commander. If you have small policy decisions, my priority, when are we going to do this? Funding this one and so forth. All these things, Africa funding. Is this mine? Sorry. Sorry about it. Funding the Africa, fertilizer, Kalama schools, and so forth. These are planning good, okay? We get funding by such a date, and then we'll be able now to start this project. I want to get funding for this, but we will start that. If we have funding for this road, then we'll start building that road. That's how it works. And it's not, it takes a lot of time and planning to do these things. For example, someone can come and say, look, I want this road to be completed in 6 months. Until road authority to complete this road, say 30-kilometer road in 6 months. It's impossible. But by the process, there are various stages. I mean, Africa first of all, feasibility study. After that, funding. After that, mobilization, and then actual operations. 4 stages, and all those can take a lot of time, more than 6 months, sometimes a year or 2. That's how these things work. Yeah.
Management ya state institutions pali SCB pali ombudsman pakhala pali mavuto makamaka amene akuchitira manage institutions amenewa boma lanu lipangizo otani kumbali ya institutions amenewa. We know kuti by now ngati SCB amene alipo ndi acting capacity DG kumeneko muli ndi mapulani anji ku state institutions?
Certainly we want to strengthen them. There's absolutely no question that integrated institutions like SCB, Ombudsman, Human Rights Commission, and those things must be strengthened. It means we must fund them properly, but also put competent people and put people with integrity in those kind of institutions. It's very important to put people who believe in our goals and so forth. So we'll be working towards that. Again, will be the process of identifying personnel. It will take time to identify personnel and to fill those institutions. But we'll do it. So somebody wrote me yesterday and said, could you pay Minister of Integrity? In some countries, I'm a kind of Minister of Integrity. Actually, it's one of the countries in the Middle East that was a Minister of Happiness. No, serious, happiness. That means to make sure that things are good for people, the social services are available, the roads are properly repaired, and all those kind of things. It's here. Means of happiness. And all sorts of things. So there are all sorts of ideas that people are sending us. We're looking at them. We need to have an open mind now. Could you have had all these challenges all these years? We are now static. We're not moving anywhere. Maybe it's the time now to listen to other ideas and try other ideas. and see if they work for us. So we have quite a lot of work ahead of us. And we appreciate your contribution to that.
Thank you so much, Your Excellency. Nandi mafunso ambiri koma mwina ndirekeze pamene palomaliza ndimafuna mungoti pali ma suggestions onena kuti mwina ndi nthawi yonena kuti pa nthawi imene mupanga transfer power mwina amene mukusinthana nawo akhale physically present kumene mukasinthana power kumwambo umenewu. Ma suggestions amene mukuwaona motani kuti akakhale physically present pambuyo mu nthawi zambiri akamasinthana utsogoleri mangokhala kuti mwina amene the outgoing samapezeka kumwambo ngati umenewu. Ndipo pali ma suggestions onena kuti mwina ndi nthawi yoti ngati dziko amene alipo apezeke. Ma suggestions amene mukuwalandira motani?
No, I don't think it's a law, but it said it would be good if former presidents or the former president, if they wish to attend, the Senate will be welcome. It depends. Remember, in the United States, for example, Donald Trump did not attend Biden's swearing-in, but Biden attended his swearing-in. Also, it depends on that kind of thing. And certainly, it's a good thing to have that kind of arrangement and sort of friendship and cordiality between the exiting and the entering president. That's what happens in some countries, and in the big democracies. Here it's a little bit different. We see opponents as enemies rather than adversaries. But things will improve as our democracy matures.
So, kwambiri Your Excellency, kupata kuyankula ngako mafunso amenewo ndingobwereza ndikamabwera ofunsa mafunso limodzi tifunse limodzi osati tikhale ndi litany of questions pepani yeti in the interest of time. Okay, komanso muziyankhulako mokwererako because we are not using any kuzamawu china chilichonse ndi muziyankhula kwambiri fika pafupi.
Your Excellency, ine ndine Simeon Shumba kuchokera ku MPC. Monga pamene mwakamba chuma cha dziko lino chakhala chikumana ndi mavuto ambiri zina zomwe mwakamba kale. Taonakonso mbuyo mu bunge la IMF likuthetsa mgwirizano ndi boma lomwe IMF likuthetsa mgwirizano ndi boma lomwe likupitali kamba kusiyana magazi mbali ya fiscal komanso monetary policy. Mukayamba ntchito muli ndi mapulani oti muthetsa kukambirana ndi IMF kuti ECF ibwerenso?
Well, absolutely. I think it would be suicide to not deal with the IMF. Every country in the world, even the big ones, even the rich countries, Germany or Britain, they deal with the IMF. And we want to build a cordial relationship with IMF, and we'll be talking with them. Remember we had an agreement with them, but it was cancelled, and then I think it became difficult to do another one for all sorts of factors. But we will be engaging IMF, the World Bank, and other institutions like African Bank, African Development Bank, and IFC, and I also and some of the big individual countries will be, BIC, BRICS. We'll be talking with all those people and to see and reintegrate ourselves into the global economy. The way things are now, no country can survive on its own without being part of the global economy. And we intend to engage in the global economy and be part of it. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you, Your Excellency. My name is Wezi Nyirongo from Capital FM.
FFM?
Capital FM.
Oh, Capital FM.
Yes. Expectations are high out there that the coming in of the DPP government, you will reconstitute a commission of inquiry into the June 10 plane crash that killed the then Vice President Saulos Chilima and 8 other passengers. What is your position?
I have no position on that one. I have not followed the case very well, but I think there was some kind of commission before. I'm sure my Minister of Justice, once appointed, will look into it and see exactly what happened in that situation, and then advise the government as how we should handle that. Thank you.
Your Excellency, I'm Jonathan Ipasungwi from National Obligations Limited. You have been in opposition for the past 5 years. Maybe what lessons have you learned during this 5-year period? Thank you so much.
What lesson? That's a very vague question. What lesson?
Maybe anything you want maybe to change, maybe that led to the fall of
what I've learned from the opposition? What I've learned from the opposition, or for being in opposition?
Being in opposition, yes.
I don't think I've learned much, but all I can say that we probably, I think the mistake, what I've learned was probably what somebody mentioned earlier, by delinking with the IMF, and that's where our problems started. And I think also perhaps unnecessary spending, perhaps that also happened. Spending without limits, I think that created problems for this country. And we need to control spending, I think. We need to control and engage with these international organizations. I think that's what, if I've learned anything, is probably that government should be very careful how much you spend. And a big government, you remember my government, I ran for 5 years with a cabinet with 18 ministers and a cabinet of 20, including the president and vice president, a total of 20. We ran that for 20 years. I'm sorry, for 5 years. And we're able to change all those things. Inflation, exchange rate was stabilized, you all know that, inflation, interest rates, and so forth. We're able to run it with a small government, but a disciplined government. And many things I changed that time. For example, ministers used to have 2 vehicles. I cut that to 1. And we cut the salaries of the minister, myself, for 6 years. I took 40% of my salary for 6 years. The other 60% went back to account 1. And my ministers also did. We all sacrificed. So those are the kind of things that we need to do so that all of us feel the pain of being in a country which is facing economic challenges. So we'll continue to do those things to make sure that whatever we do must be in the interest and for the benefit, really, of the people. And I think that will be our objective.
One more, and should be the last one. The last one for today, Your Excellency.
How many more? One more, okay. Good.
Your Excellency, ine dzinanga ndi Obre Kalumpha, reporter Obre Kalumpha.
Okay.
Ya ndachokera ku wireless ya Miji FM.
Okay.
Funso langa ndi limodzi, kwambiri pamakhala nkhawa kuti chipani chikalowa mboma kumbali yosankha maudindo zimapezeka kuti kukondera mwina mbali imodzi ya chigawo kapena mtundu ngati mmene zinalili maconcerns amene analipo mu boma limene likutulukali. Chitsimikizo chanu chingakhale chotani kupita kwa Malawi pa nkhawa ngati zimenezi?
Those are very good questions. At least for me, I can assure you, Kuti, if it Masanka, my leader, the whole country, I know people don't believe it. But I can tell you my time, the Chief Justice was from the North. Attorney General was from the North. Director General SCB was from the North. Army Commander was from the North. Commissioner of Prisons was from the North. Commissioner of Police Center. Of course, there were some people, Southeast and so forth, but we chose on merit. And if you go and look, you can go to OPC, but my grade, government, A to R. Now the President Amasanka, A to E, 5. The other, Amasanka, Civil Service Commission. But my grade A to E, I mean, Amasanka, I'm going to check. You find majority were from the North, followed by the Center, followed by the South. That's the truth. Go and check. It was a myth. When it just wasn't true. It wasn't true. Of course, I had people from the South also, and I had people from the East also. But to say that I was taking people on the basis of where they come from, no. No, we are facing a challenge now, but we have a very different situation to change this country. And we're going to need people, with ability to help me to, rebuild this country, and I'll take the best person we can find to assist us to build this country. After all, we're all Malawians. So now I know what you're talking about. Maybe it was an extreme, and I did say it during the campaign, what you're talking about. I think that was probably not proper. The morning I put it, there are removals who can't majority of all the positions. The morning I joined you. And whether it was by design or it just happened, I don't know. But certainly, I think Malawians want all of us to share in the running of this country. And I have the message, and the voting was very clear. The message is there, and I've heard it. So I think I don't need to say more than that.
No, Your Excellency, thank you very much. This far, we have come to the end of the press briefing.